This is the Darling of the Forgotten State, unofficial OTS member, Noah Vale, and you're tuned in to the OTS Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, no rambling here. We're jumping right into the action because Mr. Theo is pressed for time, and I'm also running a little behind today. So we don't have time for we ain't got no time for jokes. We got to jump in. So welcome back to OTS News this week, episode 19. So yeah, let's dive right in. Theo, what did you do this week, my boy?
This week I've been catching up on Euphoria. I think we were talking about it last week or the week prior. The season 3 is going to be coming out next year, and so I've been getting caught up. And it is a fucking wild show. I kind of forgot about a lot of the stuff that happened, but goddamn, there are a lot of great acting performances in this show. It is incredible. I cannot wait for season 3. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it is a crazy show. I've just been chilling. Redid my closet kind of last week and still kind of piecing that together a little bit. There was something I was going to say that is completely slipping my mind. I cannot remember what the hell I was going to say. But yeah, just been kind of chilling, working on some stuff. My biggest thing this week, I opened up a wrestling figure that honestly maybe I should not have opened up. Well, it's not that big of a deal, but so to keep it short, I have this. You saw it, this little wrestling display. Normally, I have an Eddie Guerrero figure that I know I have. It's like a basic figure that normally I would put on this display. Can't find it anywhere. I looked high and low. Even last night at midnight, I went up in the attic to see if somehow it ended up in the attic. So at midnight, I was traversing through the attic of our house. Couldn't find it anywhere. So I had this like kind of older elite Eddie Guerrero that I kind of ripped out the box and have put on display. But when I looked at the eBay sales, it was only selling for around $30, which so it's about $10 more. So it's not too big. And honestly, it's kind of a better one because it's elite. It's more detailed. It's from SummerSlam 2005. I'm pretty sure. So he's got the like.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Right there.
So he's got like the frosted tips and like the "I'm Your Poppy" T-shirt. So I put him right next to my Rey Mysterio Elite that's in the thing. But yeah, I was in the attic last night looking for that. I pulled some other figures down to kind of keep down here. I'm kind of afraid of heights and stuff, so going in the attic is never my vibe. So I told my mom, who obviously was like falling asleep, I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going to the attic. If you hear a loud thud, that might be me dead on the floor. God forbid. So I was doing good. When I got up there. At first I was scared, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's just go. And I was up there, and like when my back was kind of turned to the ladder and stuff like that, I was good. I was moving stuff around, and there was one container that was like on the other side, like across from the opening.
Right.
And I didn't know what was in there, if it was wrestling figures or fucking American Girl dolls or whatnot. So I was like, all right, here's where it gets fun, because now I gotta really try and get over there. Yeah, that didn't happen. I turned around and I was trying to get over there, and I have vertigo and stuff like that, so I get dizzy when I'm up high and shit. So again, I was doing good when I couldn't see like the garage, you know what I'm saying? The moment I like was trying to move there, and out of the corner of my eye, I could just see this 50-foot drop in front of me. My legs started shaking, and I was like, all right, no, it's time to go to bed. I'm good. So then I turned the light off and went down. So I don't know what's in that. But yeah, that was my biggest adventure, was trying to not fall out of the attic at almost 1 a.m. last night. But yeah, all right, let's dive into our song of the week here, Mr. Theo. What do you have?
So after watching through Euphoria, one of the songs that was playing, which I've never even really heard before, is "Heartbeat" by Red 7, which is a very like 80s rock song. It fucking goes so hard. This is going on my workout playlist for sure. It's such a banger. But
Give me the name one more time. Heartbeat.
Heartbeat by Red 7.
Red 7. Let me add it to the playlist. There we go. It's got a giant literal red 7, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. Yep. That'll be the one.
It's the one with the red 7 on it.
Right. My song of the week. Let me make sure I did this right. I think I accidentally added red 7. No, we're good. My song of the week is an interesting one. It's going to be "Redemption" by Bill Conti, the theme from Rocky 2.
Okay.
Man, Banger, absolute banger. I think so. A few years ago, I showed you Rocky 1, and I think we watched Rocky 2, and that was the extent. Oh, we didn't. Okay.
No.
I think we started it because I remember at least hearing this theme song play. So I think maybe we started it and then we had to go eat dinner or something like that and just kind of forgot about it. Those are definitely some movies we're gonna have to do like a reaction for. You definitely need to see the rest of them because those are some of my favorite movies. I grew up watching those movies. But man, that Redemption song, bro, it hits so hard. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, all right. Our blind rank for the week, Mr. Theo. You want to start first? You want me to start first? How we want to do this?
I'll start us off first. The season 2 premiere of Fallout has been released. I've watched it. I'm assuming you've watched it as well. So I've just kind of collected a few characters here from the Fallout series. I'm gonna have you blind rank them.
All
Gonna
right.
be from the video games. They're gonna be from the show.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
We're
All
gonna
right.
start off with the main character, Lucy.
Ooh. Lucy. I don't know. Even though we have a season with her, I don't know how to feel about her yet because she's fun, but man, there's way too many close calls with this character. Man, she's not the. I mean, no offense to her, but she clearly grew up in the vault system, in the vault tech system. There, she is not the brightest. So sometimes it's fun when they're in the show and she gets them into Carrie's predicament, but a lot of times it's just kind of annoying and it feels a little preventable. Like, come on, dog. You can't be that dumb. So, honestly, I will put her... I'll put her at 5. I'll put her at 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure there's... Again, I don't necessarily dislike her, but I'm not sure there's many characters that I really kind of don't like more, so...
Right. Next one we got is everybody's favorite checkered-suited gangster, Benny.
Ooh, all right. See, now, this guy is somebody that should be on everybody's, shit list. But he's a great villain. I will say, my only thing about this was that playing Fallout New Vegas as a kid, obviously, like, I've seen the trailer and the opening and stuff like that, where he's iconic, and he says, like, you just ran out of luck or whatever. Iconic, obviously, voiced by Matthew Perry, an incredible actor. My only thing was that I always assumed playing New Vegas that he was the main villain. And he's really not. He's kind of he's kind of a side villain once you kind of find him and stuff like that, and then you either kill him or work with him or whatever you can do. So that's my only thing that was disappointing. Where I was like, damn, I thought he was the main villain, but he ended up being just kind of be like this street gangster, and then Mr. House ended up being the real villain. So just because of that, I'll put him. I mean, he's high up, so I'll put him in the 2 spot, honestly.
All right. Next up, we got everybody's favorite companion, Dogmeat.
Ooh, my boy Dogmeat. I'll put him in a solid 3 spot. I mean, no, there's no way to hate him, bro. He's just a lovable dog. I will say, the first time I played Fallout 4, I don't know what the hell happened, but I lost him. I actually completely lost this dog. So I found him. He was at the Red Rocket, like right when you leave. What is it, Sanctuary or whatever it's called? Yeah. I found him and I had him for a little bit, and I think I switched him out with like Preston or something like that, and I sent him like back to the Red Rocket. And then I went to go get him, and he was just not there. Like, literally, my first playthrough, he just, like, completely... I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that's a common bug in Fallout 4. But, yeah, I completely lost Dogmeat. Yeah, so, I lost Dogmeat. So, my first playthrough, I think, my headcanon was that, unfortunately, Dogmeat may have gotten killed by something on the way back to the Red Rocket. But my second playthrough, which I still haven't really finished, he's with me. He's my main companion too. Even I kind of am fucking with Dogmeat. So
Next up, we got the Ghoul.
Ooh, from the show.
From the show, yes. Walton got
I will put him. I mean, I only got 1 and 4. I think he's going to the 4 spot. I do really like this character, especially seeing more of his backstory and seeing kind of where he comes from and how connected he is to not just big characters, but the whole Fallout universe as a whole. He's really kind of the poster boy for the Fallout universe, being kind of the actual vault boy in like the universe. So I don't know, I do really like him. He's probably my favorite character in the show, but I feel like there's still a little bit more to be desired with this character a little bit. Very interested in him, but I do feel like same thing where sometimes he's like a hard ass. But sometimes I feel like in the show, even he does things where I'm like, come on, dog. Like, really? Come on. That you could have avoided that. So yeah, I really like him, but I'll put him in the 4th spot. But I only got one left, so
I got one left, and
generic Deathclaw.
it's gonna be very, very interesting because the last character on this list is gonna be Mr. House.
Ooh, okay. I mean, he's not one of my personal favorite characters, but he's a huge character in the universe, and he is a good character. Like, it's interesting to see his character. I mean, I played New Vegas a while ago, so I don't know like all of his characteristics and stuff. Like the time I actually beat New Vegas, I was probably like 12 years old, 13 years old. So yeah, I don't remember like all of the characteristics of this character, but I do know that he's a huge character. So I'm not too mad that he's stuck in the 1 spot. I obviously would change it, and if I had to, I maybe I put Benny in the 1 spot. But he is a good character, so I'm not too mad about that.
All right, there you go.
What would you rank it?
I'm probably putting Benny at the 1 spot. I'm gonna put Mr. House at the 2. You know, I think. Yeah, I gotta put the Ghoul at 3, Lucy at 4, and then Dogmeat at 5.
Nice. All right. My blind rank for you is going to be on a complete different side of the scale here, but it's still something that we love. Mr. Theo, today you are going to be ranking the franchises of Disney Channel original movies.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I was playing
I don't
Minecraft
even-
with my roommate like the other day, and we were just like singing. Fuck, what was it? It was like Camp Rock for like 10 minutes straight on the mic.
Yeah, I don't even know how this popped in my head. I obviously needed a blind rank, and I don't know, somehow it popped in my head. But this is something that obviously we grew up with, and even in our teenage years, I remember us playing like we'd be going to shows or going to stores, and I would put on like on the aux, I would put on like the guess the song videos and shit like that, and we would just guess Disney Channel TV show songs and shit like that. So very big part of our childhood and even teenage years. So starting off, the one, the only, High School Musical.
I feel like that's gotta be the one. That's gotta be the 1 spot. It's just too legendary.
Right.
It is an incredible trilogy. So much good music. It's at the 1 spot.
Well, your second one may be your second one because it really probably would be your first one. So your next one is going to be Lemonade Mouth.
Honestly, I'm okay with Lemonade Mouth being at the 2. I really do like it, but I think there's just way more with the whole High School Musical trilogy.
Right.
So realistically, 2 is probably where I would legitimately put it.
Lemonade Mouth, I'm not even sure if it's even really a franchise because I only did get one movie, but
It can't.
I will say though, I did always want the lemonade. The lemonade looks so good in that movie, bro.
It does. It's very.
All right. Your next one is going to be the Halloween Town franchise.
I don't think I'm familiar. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, okay. As Mr. Theo's he's got a motorcycle and sirens
I'm
going
sorry,
off.
I'm cussing at like ambulances out here. It's like, what the fuck? Is it like a presidential motorcade going on? What the hell?
This man lives in the middle of Dale Mabry or some shit.
I live in the middle of Dale Mabry. But yeah, I'm not familiar. I think I have just automatically put it at 5.
Okay, all right. Definitely something. Maybe next Halloween we'll have to show you. Your next one is going to be the Cheetah Girls franchise.
Ooh. Man. You know, as good as the Cheetah Girls are, I think there are other franchises that I think I would put higher just because I don't have that much of a connection to Cheetah Girls, so I may say 4 in this case.
Okay.
Obviously, I know that they are legendary for sure.
And the last one is going to be the Camp Rock franchise.
Yeah, three's a good spot there. I'm honestly more than sure that the Cheetah Girls franchise is probably better overall in terms of quality. I don't have that much experience with it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I'm okay with playing Camp Rock. There's some good bangers in there.
If I have to rank this, it's definitely a lot harder. High School Musical is at the 1. That's easy. At the 2, oof. Honestly, at the 2, man, might go. Oh fuck! I might go Camp Rock at the 2. Cheetah Girls. Actually no, Camp Rock at the 2. Probably Lemonade Mouth at the 3. Halloween Town at the 4, and Cheetah Girls at the 5. Again, Cheetah Girls probably is one of the better quality franchises, but I grew up. I've seen all 3. I grew up watching all 3, but that was definitely like I like them, but that was definitely more Grace's thing than my thing, I would say. But I do love the Cheetah Girls. So that's how I would rank it. But that is very, very hard.
The real, true number one, and that's
Mm.
Holes.
That's true. That is true. That is true. I would put that. I would
Holes
argue
is
that.
absolutely the one.
I would literally argue that with High School Musical, bro. That movie is so fucking peak, bro. One of the best
It's like
children's
actually,
movies
like,
ever.
A legitimately great movie.
That could be an Oscar-winning movie. It was that good, bro. It was so fucking
Honestly.
good. So fucking good.
Legendary.
Love that movie. All right, we got some news here. I want to talk about real quick. John Cena. Obviously, this past Saturday we witnessed the retirement tour of the GOAT. I think we're still mentally helping ourselves get back to a better place. Because it's been rough. Me, Wyatt, we're watching it with my mom's friend and his son. Man, I will say, I think I have a problem crying in front of people or something like that, because I don't like, I get emotional, but when around you guys I can't let them flow. When you guys left, it was bad. When you guys left, I went in the shower and I full on kind of sobbed
you
for.
Shower cried it.
Yeah, I did like a 15-minute shower cry. But I will say, as what's happening, Wyatt was not crying. But I looked over at you, man, and I think I may have seen you cry the most I've ever seen you cry. You were feeling it, bro.
I've definitely cried way more in front of you in terms of like.
I don't know about that,
like,
bro.
I
I saw
definitely
actual
scared.
tears. No, I saw tears going down that cheek, my boy. And I'm not blaming. I'm not shaming you. I'm not shaming you.
Childhood hero, man.
It is.
You gotta let me have that.
No, I'm not shaming you at all. I was almost proud to see you show that much emotion. But yeah, it was very emotional. Gunther had an incredible promo on Raw. I was feeling that
my
shit.
God.
That was good stuff.
As much as like I love like John Cena and stuff like that, I could not help but just enjoy every single thing Gunther was doing on Raw, man. He had an absolute fucking incredible night on Monday.
So good. So good.
I can't wait to see what they do with him
But
from here.
yeah, not much else to say. He retired. He did an interview with Cody Rhodes I watched where he kind of gave some more insight. But nonetheless, I do want to just say, John Cena, thank you, of course, for giving us decades at this point of entertainment for a ton of kids. I definitely had a fun time going into this. I had a fun time reminiscing on things I had as a kid that had John Cena's face on it. I went back and looked at, the folder, the Google Drive of all of our family memories. It's crazy how many T-shirts I had that had John Cena's face on it, from his official T-shirts to like the Walmart T-shirts and stuff. So between that and the action figures, and I think I probably had a John Cena toothbrush at some point. It's just wild how much John Cena stuff was in like our house when I was a kid. So yeah, thank you, John Cena.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's an object that you can sell, WWE probably made a version of it with John Cena's face on it.
100%, 100%. He definitely had texting gloves for sure.
Yeah.
But our next piece of news here. Let me know if you do want to talk about this, because I put this here expecting this to have been released, but it did not get released. So I don't know if you want to talk about this.
I saw this on the list, and I'm genuinely starting to get a little bit pissed off that Doomsday is so commonly on this fucking list of like weekly check-in stuff when there's no fucking trailer. I'm like, what more is there to talk about, guys? Just give us the goddamn trailer already.
So I'm assuming you didn't see the trailer, because there is a trailer, but it's not officially. It's in theaters, but it's not online, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't fucking care.
Okay,
If
so
I can't see it like online or something, I don't like.
well, I mean, you could see it online.
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna just give this to you. So the idea is, it's in front of Avatar, right? There are going to be, each week there's going to be a different one. So there's going to be 4 different kind of teaser trailers. These aren't full on trailers. These are like 40-second videos. So there's four different ones, and then apparently about a month after those come out is when the official one will come out. But the big thing is, the first one is out. I'm shocked you haven't seen this, because it's huge. The first one's out. What do you think? So they're each centered around a character. What do you think the first teaser trailer is centered around?
I think it's a bit too early to push out anything relating to Doom.
Right.
Even though he is kind of like the titular character. I think it's going to be X-Men related.
Okay. All right. Theo, you're wrong. It's about a character that was not a part of the trailer lineup. Theo, the first Doomsday teaser trailer announced that Steve Rogers will be returning in Avengers Doomsday.
I don't know how to feel about that. Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna let me see if I can break down this trailer for you real quick because it is very short.
Okay.
And it kind of gives you so there's a shot of somebody riding a motorcycle. It's a shot of somebody kind of parking the motorcycle. It's a shot of the person putting the helmet on top of the motorcycle. Then it cuts to a shot of the house from Endgame, right? Steve and Peggy's house.
Yeah.
A shot of somebody walking up the stairs, and then it cuts to a shot of Steve Rogers pulling his Captain America suit like out of the dresser, and then a shot of him holding a baby, and like caressing a baby, and then I think it shot him holding a baby, then a close up shot of his face, and then it cuts to black, and you hear the bum 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 bum, and it says Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday.
I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just.
I feel-
confused.
I don't know if I feel bad because I didn't really spoil it for you because it's already out there. It's just not like
Right.
on Marvel's YouTube channel. So I feel like you probably, if you went on X at some point, you probably would have seen this anyway. So I don't feel like I really spoiled it. But yeah, here's a photo of him actually in the thing, so you know I'm not lying.
Right.
Holding a baby. There's a shot of him holding the suit. So yeah, this announces that Steve Rogers is returning to Endgame. I also don't know how to feel about this. I'm very, very concerned, very kind of conflicted because Steve Rogers is like in my top 5 MCU characters of all
He's one
time.
the best characters, for sure.
Right. So I don't want them to ruin this, but I'm not surprised. I guess I could say I'm not surprised. I feel like this is something I feel like was going to happen inevitably, anyways, especially with RDJ coming back and whatnot. So yeah, the rumor is that he didn't return the stones or something like that, and this is how he gets dragged back into the fight. But it adds an interesting aspect because clearly he has a kid now. So Doom seems like he's rounding up kids. So is he going to come after Steve and Peggy's child? That's the interesting thought, and that's my assumption is that for some reason Doom is going to come take that child as well, and that's what gets Steve kind of to put the suit back on.
I mean, I get it. Like, few Marvel characters are gonna put butts in seats more than Steve Rogers. Like, I
Right.
understand that, but
Right.
his story ended. It's over. Like, it was a great
Right.
conclusion to his entire character. Like, why?
Right.
keep
I
saying
agree.
this out?
Especially with the amount of characters that are in this movie, I feel like man, we didn't need it, and in the same sense, I feel like now that he's in this movie, I feel like the entire movie shifts. Like I feel like he even I don't know how the story is going to go, but from like a outside perspective, it seems like they announced him coming back, and he already feels like okay, now this is a Steve Rogers versus Doom movie.
Yeah.
Like it feels like everybody else is now going to take a backseat. I don't know if that's the case. For all we know, Steve Rogers, they could just be making this a big deal. He could be in the movie for all 5 minutes, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? And maybe have a bigger role in Secret Wars, or not at all. Maybe he's just in there, for something quick. I don't know. But it does feel like them announcing that it feels like, okay, now Steve Rogers is the main star. So yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, we're going to see how it goes. Obviously, I don't want to cast too much judgment here. But it's definitely interesting. It's definitely a little controversial, I would say.
Yeah. It is wild. I could understand it to an aspect of like bring him back like after like Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff when you kind of like start to like reset the universe a little bit and then bring these
Right.
characters back maybe with like a different actor or something like that. But like this
Right,
is
right.
literally just Chris Evans as Captain America again. It's like what was
Yeah.
the point of like the past 5 years?
Right. And so when it comes to these other teasers, I believe the second one is supposed to be about Thor for some reason. Not for some reason, but like to me it seems a little random. But Thor is supposed to have the second one. There's supposed to be one for Doom. I don't remember what like the other one is, but I know Doom is supposed to be the last one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that's going. But that's the big news, probably the biggest news out of the whole week is that Chris Evans is returning for Avengers Doomsday as Steve Rogers.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Were you looking something up over there?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. My next thing here, I put Hal Jordan Parallax. There's a rumor that going into, not a rumor, I don't think it's a theory. I think I saw a ton of fans theorizing that in the Lantern show. This is going to be more your thing probably to discuss, but people are discussing that he's going to be infected with like the parallax disease in the show, and that's going to be like the big twist of the show is that he seems fine, and then at some point in the show we'll find out he's actually infected, and then maybe the Lantern show turns into like Jon Stewart versus Hal Jordan, and he's trying to save him or something like that. So I don't know much about this. This is definitely your territory. I just saw this and thought it was interesting and thought it'd be something you'd want to talk about.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about it a little bit. So parallax is kind of like the embodiment of like the fear and like the Yellow Lanterns and stuff like that, which is like the direct enemy of the Green Lanterns. So it's probably going to end up with a situation of Hal Jordan getting infected to the point of becoming a Yellow Lantern, in which Jon Stewart's going to have to fight him or something like that.
Right.
That's pretty cool. I do like that. I was kind of hoping for maybe some sort of story with like the red or orange lanterns, because I kind of fuck with them a little bit more than the Yellow Lanterns, but it's all cool. I'm fucking with it. It sounds
Right.
cool.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed interesting to me once I kind of researched what parallax was and stuff like that. So it definitely seemed a little interesting. Star Wars Starfighter has officially wrapped shooting, so I'm excited for that. They officially finished filming, so now Sean Levy is heading into post-production. So I'd imagine maybe around March or April we might get a teaser trailer for that, which would be pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that. Maybe a Super Bowl trailer if they can get that out. That'd be cool. And our last little piece of news here, I don't know if it's today or if it was yesterday, but The Force Awakens has officially turned 10 years old. Again, either today or yesterday. So, no news on them putting it back in theaters, so I'm guessing that didn't end up happening. Unless they're saving that for some reason till next year or something like that. But, yeah, great movie. That movie really kind of changed the game, bro. It was like we hadn't had Star Wars in so long. And so when that happened, I mean, you and I have talked about it. We told Rachel about it. It's like 2015, bro. It was everywhere. You couldn't walk in a store without seeing Rey or Kylo Ren or BB-8 on something. Mainly, I feel like it was mainly Kylo Ren and BB-8. But I think honestly, actually, it was Finn. I think they were trying to keep Rey a bit of a mystery a little bit. So I think it was like mainly like Kylo and BB-8 and Finn that you would see on stuff. Yeah, man, you couldn't walk into a store without seeing those characters on a toy, a magazine, a bag of oranges, a box of cereal. It was literally everywhere. They had like cardboard cutouts everywhere. It was so big because obviously it was the first Star Wars movie we had gotten since 2005. So, yeah, man, very, very good memories. I remember going and seeing it and being so excited. So I remember we were working. It was me and my dad's employee Billy, who is a big Star Wars fan, and we were kind of bonding over that. And we were doing like a project on the porch. We were putting like those rubber mats on the porch. He was doing it, but my dad asked me to like go help him and like, so he didn't have to be out there all day by himself. So I went out and sat with him for a couple days, and we were talking about Star Wars. I'm like, hey man, let's go see The Force Awakens. It comes out on Thursday. And so I remember that Thursday we were out there and we were cutting up this mat, and I remember all day Thursday we were just talking about theories and what do we think's gonna happen. And then at like 5 o'clock, we hopped in the car, went and got some food, and then went and saw the movie, and we were just hyped, bro. I remember, too, there was, like, because we were so anxious, I remember they showed the first trailer for Zootopia as the previews, and I remember that was, like, the last trailer they showed before the movie started. So it was, like, everybody, the theater I was in, everybody was getting a little bit annoyed, being like, come on, we want to see the movie. And then the Zootopia trailer happens, and there's the segment with Flash where he takes, like, 5 minutes to do a single task. And I remember legitimately people in the theater being like, come on, man! Like, oh my god. Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck. And then I remember when like the ba-da-da hit, the whole theater cheered. So, very fun time. Very nostalgic.
No, I remember a similar thing happening to me because like me and my dad went to go see it like the like opening weekend, and we went out and we got some like pizza and stuff like that. We ate that and then went to see the movie. I had like a Star Wars sweater on. I remember that. We took like a little selfie in the theater, and then I remember like I think there were people also like joking around before the movie started of just like I think there was like one guy who was like doing like a Wookiee roar, and then someone else yelled out, "Laugh it up, fuzzball!"
Nice.
So there's just a lot of like Star Wars nostalgia going on there, and then the movie started and the title screen came up and everybody started cheering and whatnot, and we just had a good time.
Yeah. Yep. I think I bought at Walmart. I think I got a Kylo Ren shirt before I even knew who Kylo Ren was. But from the moment, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he looks cool as fuck. So I think I still have it. It's like a gray shirt with him and like some stormtroopers behind it. I think that was like my first Kylo Ren shirt, and I think I wore that to the theater that night.
Oh yeah, I remember getting. It might be a similar thing, but I had like a poster of like Kylo Ren and like two stormtroopers behind him, and they were like, all like walking on like Jakku or something like that. I had a poster of that. I remember. I think I got it at like. It wasn't even like Walmart or anything like that. It was like one of the craft stores or something like that. And I was with my mother. This was like a week or two before the movie came out, and I was like, I have no idea who this guy is, but he looks cool as hell, and it's Star Wars, so I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I think I remember too when they did like the Force Friday, where it was like they release all the merch for whatever. They did a couple years with Force Awakens and then like Last Jedi and Fallen Order and all the different stuff and whatnot. Mandalorian, like 2019 was a big one because it was like they released the merch for Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and like Fallen Order all on the same day and stuff. But 2015, I remember Force Friday, they were doing like the midnight release or whatever. I dragged my dad to Walmart at midnight to go see what this merch was, and I remember getting a Rey and a Kylo like Black Series figure, and my dad was like, "You don't even know who these characters are." I'm like, "I don't care, man. I'm just too excited." And I think it was on my birthday. Like I think that's when they did Force Friday. So I was like, "This is Dad. Please buy me these for my birthday," and he did. And I still have them. They're in my little display over there. So yeah, very nostalgic. Very nostalgic.
Oh yeah.
But all right, let's dive into our actual little topic here before you got to run, because you probably got about 15 minutes. Let's talk about failed wrestling stables. This is an interesting little fun concept. We're not doing a top 5 or anything. We're just going to discuss a little bit. So I made a little bit of a list, though, so we know where we're going. The first one I think of when I think of failed wrestling stables is Retribution.
Oh, was that Mustafa Ali's gang? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
It was
that.
like
Okay, yeah.
It was like Mustafa Ali, but he originally wasn't like. They came in and they were doing like almost like an Antifa thing where they were like destroying the performance center, and then he was revealed later on. But it was like him as the leader. Dijak was like the second kind of guy. Mansoor was another. He was like a heavy. Mia Yim was like the first female. Shane Thorne, who was in TM61, he was like Slapjack or whatever. And then originally Mercedes Martinez was like in there. She didn't even get a name because she was there. And then I think she legitimately was like, I don't want to do this. And I think they released her. So she was only a part of Retribution for like 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, man, at first I thought, oh, okay, this could be cool. It had potential. But then they gave them horrible names, like Slapjack's the only one I can remember, but they were like Slash and Dagger or something, like stupid names. And then they just ended up being jobbers. Like they didn't even get to really do anything. So unfortunately, that's the one I think of because that's probably the more recent one. But I remember being like, okay, this has some potential, and then finding out the people that were in it, I was like, oh, there's some good people in this group. And then they Vince just 1 week decided to stop, and they became legitimate jobbers. So.
Right.
The Social Outcasts is another kind of failed wrestling group. This one. I mean,
about the Social Outcast.
Yeah, and I don't think this was ever formed in a sense of being like the main, like a big group. I think they just kind of had an idea of putting all their squash guys in a little bit of a group at the time because it consisted of Heath Slater, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, and I think Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't do anything. They just showed up. They would constantly get their asses beat. So I don't know if it's necessarily a failed stable because I think they served the role that they were supposed to serve. But those guys were all pretty talented, so it's kind of sad because they could have been a fun stable if given the opportunity. But I just remember watching those guys in like 2015, 2016, just getting their asses handed to them every single week.
Yeah, I completely forgot. That was a blast from the past there.
I feel like there's going to be a good amount of blast from the past.
Yeah.
Next one is going to be the League of Nations. This was like a 2015 deal.
Honestly, when I first saw this topic, that was the very first group I thought of was the League of Nations.
Yeah. This consisted of Sheamus as the kind of leader, Wade Barrett, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio. I think that was the core group there. At first, those are some pretty big names, some pretty heavy hitters. Sheamus, I think when they formed this, I think Sheamus may have been WWE champion at the time. And then you have Rusev, who was like dominant and whatnot. You had Wade Barrett, who was probably the weakest link technically. Del Rio, who I can't stand, but he was a former multi-time WWE champion, world champion. So it's like this is a group full of some pretty big names, and they really just didn't do shit. Let's see. The Alliance was another one that was not great. This was the WCW ECW team when they took over.
Yeah.
Great idea. It was a really cool idea, and then that storyline also got kicked to the wasteland. A current one I wanted to say was the current version of the LWO. I think the original LWO also didn't get too much.
Is there even a current version of the LWO? Are they even still a thing anymore?
6'7". Yeah, I don't know. But even when they were kind of a thing, they still got nothing. Rey Mysterio was the only one that ever really got to do anything. Everyone else just kind of stood around. It was Rey Mysterio and like 6 other people just like hanging out with him. AEW-wise, the Jericho Appreciation Society, this ran its course way too long and went on way too long. Was not great, and it was really just like a stroke Chris Jericho's ego kind of vibe. And the last one I want to talk about, probably my biggest ones, is going to be Nexus / kind of the core. So much potential here. I remember watching that episode of Raw when they attacked John Cena and like CM Punk or whatever and destroyed the whole thing. I remember that whole deal. Yeah, so much potential there, and they just threw it to the wasteland. Especially that having Punk be the leader could have been great, but I don't think Punk wanted to do that. And then Vince, was sour on it. So it's like the Nexus should have been something crazy. Wade Barrett should have been WWE champion during that time with the Randy Orton, John Cena stuff for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing. It just got buried. Whether you want, I don't know if it was John Cena or Vince or what. There's rumors that are always speculating about maybe John Cena was the one that kind of got in Vince's ear about not pushing these guys because I think he had some issues with a lot of the guys in the group. I think David Otunga made that pretty clear recently with a lot of his YouTube videos. Yeah, I don't know, man, but that's my biggest one. I thought the Nexus was so cool, especially because they came from FCW and / kind of NXT. I thought it was such a cool idea, and it just got thrown to the wasteland. And then the core, of course, is like a spin-off of the Nexus that I don't know why, but they sent Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel to SmackDown and randomly added Ezekiel Jackson into the group and tried to do like another Nexus, but it completely failed pretty much from the moment it happened. Yeah, I have it.
Also bring up Apple.
Apple? What the hell is
You
Apple?
don't know about Apple?
I don't think so.
This was like a one-night thing. It was like a Santino Marella-led like group that went against the core. It was so fucking.
Oh,
it was
okay.
like one night on Raw, and that was
That's
it,
funny
or
as
something
fuck.
like that.
That's
But
funny.
That's another one that I randomly got because I got brought to that attention by one of my coworkers. But I was
That's
like,
funny.
that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. I love it.
It sounds like a Santino idea. I have an elite Justin Gabriel figure that came with a core T-shirt. That's probably the biggest contribution the core did to anything was having a T-shirt in as an accessory with an action figure. But yeah, Nexus is probably my biggest one. What would you say would be your biggest kind of failed wrestling stable?
I think just because it was like the first one that I thought of, I think League of Nations definitely fell, especially because all those guys are like relatively popular around that time and whatnot, and it just really was like pointless and it went nowhere, and there was really no reason to have that entire faction to begin with. So I just think it couldn't even get off the ground because why would it?
Right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments what would be your biggest failed wrestling faction, and what are some that maybe we missed because I didn't go through the whole analyst of. I just went through a quick list, kind of coming up with some. So let us know some that we missed that might be bigger, and what's your kind of personal favorite failed wrestling faction. Shout out to WNRN, of course, as always, and we will see y'all next week. Oh, and also stay tuned because January 3rd. The Awards of the Cosmos, the first ever Awards of the Cosmos, our biggest show of the year, will be dropping, and we're dropping it later. It's our first actual podcast of the year, and we're dropping it later. I wanted to give it an award show vibe, so it's going to drop around 7:00 at night rather than our normal 3 p.m. So it's going to have a nice night feel. So yeah, that's our big announcement. The Awards of the Cosmos, 7 p.m. on January 3rd. Stay tuned. But yeah, with that, we will see y'all next week.